What's up guys, welcome to Rookie Autos. Today we're going to be installing a cold air intake on this beautiful B58 on this 2020 540i X Drive. Let's get it. First you got to pop the hood, so let's go ahead and do that. Pop the hood, just go ahead and lift it up. You can see this beautiful B58 inline 6 engine. All we got to do is just remove this and then we can get to installing the filter. Before you can install the cold air intake, you got to remove this stock factory, unit right here. And we're also going to be removing this resonator section right over there. So first things first, we're going to start off by removing this clip right here. It's a MAF airflow sensor right there. All right, so you pretty much want to kind of pinch it down and then pull it out just like that. Really easy. Now that you got that MAF flag sensor out, all you got to do is just unscrew some of these bolts. I believe it's what the fuck you gonna use this? Torx T25. You get yourself a T25. Now we just go ahead and unbolt these. Try not to lose the bolt, or else that's not going to be fun. Maybe get a magnet tool just to fish it out. Just have that next to you in case you do end up dropping it in the engine bay, like I probably am. But yeah. Switch out to a little bit longer of a bit, just because it's a little hard to reach that one. And it turns out that that one all the way there is not a T25. That one's the only one that's a T20. So just keep that in mind for when you're doing this to your B58. Just gonna go ahead and unscrew that guy. Just try not to lose him. So the next step is to actually get room. We gotta remove all this plastic trim right over here so that we can get to this strut bar right over here, this front strut bar. So I actually got this tool. I think one of the BMW techs at my last oil change actually left this in the engine bay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. Just wanna pop this clip and try not to break it like I'm about to. There you go. Just pop that middle one out. And that's pretty much how they look. So you just do that for all of those. All right, so now we just take this guy out. Oh, did I not unclip everything? There you go, you can take this lining out. There you go. There you go, that's the whole piece. So the reason we did that is so that we can actually get access to this bolt a lot easier. I believe this one is a 16 millimeter. So let me just double check on that. All right, so it indeed is a 16. Put it on there. Damn. Okay. I realize I probably should be pulling, not pushing. Right?
Yeah.
Should probably be pulling instead of pushing. There you go. There you go. Tip of the day: don't push, pull. The video that I watched before doing, even attempting this, the guy said that this is going to be a 15 millimeter, but I kind of found it to be an 11, and it looks like it fits pretty good on there. But then I realized that this is actually a star pattern, and this looks more like a hexagon, as you can see right there. So then I kind of looked at my toolbox, and I ended up finding this one right here instead. So I think this one might be better. This one says 7/16. I don't know. I mean, look, see the star pattern? Fits on there a little bit nicer. Oh, wrong one. This one right there. That's nice and snug, so you just don't want to end up stripping the bolt. I mean, this one probably still would have ended up working, but when you put it back on, especially, and you torque it to spec, you want to make sure you do not strip that bolt. So, like butter.
Arch on that.
There you go. Isn't it nice when you have the right tools? Yeah. How much longer are you gonna keep fucking? There you go. And like that, it's out. It's nice and hollow aluminum. So now that we removed that bracing right there, we got a lot more space to work with. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go ahead and remove this guy. Let me just go grab my tool. Just get yourself a flathead and do this. Just make it a little bit easier. Oh. Just to take everything off, just to give yourself that much more space. You don't need to take it off all the way completely, just kind of loosen it a little bit. So now that you got it loose, you just kind of wiggle it around, pop that out. This whole entire unit actually just comes out like that. You want to just kind of pop it out from here. Pop it out of these grooves right over there. And then now we got to remove this piping, so that's going to be fun. So now that we got that off, you can see this bolt right over here, or this little screw holding onto that clamp. So you just got to loosen up that clamp And now that this is off, it's a little easier to access it, but still you might want to get something a little smaller. Let me try it with this tiny little screwdriver right here. There you go. A little bit. Alright, so now that I loosen up that clamp, you're gonna want to try to pull it out, but it's gonna be hard because it's pretty much rubber on metal, and it's you know, gone through multiple heat cycles, and there's also a little bit of oil from the turbo, so that kind of creates a gasket almost. So you might want to try to take something like this, like a hook, and try to get underneath it. It's really hard to show you, but you're gonna try to get underneath it. You can feel oil when I put my hand inside here. I'm gonna try to pry it out. It's really hard to do on camera, but hopefully I'll fucking get this shit out. All right, so come here. I reached back over here. There's a little bit of room back there that I was able to get my tiny little fingers in. Oh, right there, see that? Right back there. And then you just kind of jam pack your fingers in there. I've tried every single tool imaginable. Even had to modify this. Like, look at this. Look at this. I have to bend that. Now, finally. Come on. Come on. So close. So close, yet so far away. Wait. Pop this out. Okay. Holy mother. Wow.
You got it on video.
Damn, that was hard. Well, now to the favorite part of installing the cold air intake. I'm so excited. Now for the part that we've all been waiting for. We get to unbox the 540i B58 intake. I got a blue one, because you already know. Got to match with that Imperial Blue Metallic. So let's get to unboxing.
Oh.
Look at that beauty right there. Okay. Got some clamps right there. The housing it's going to be sitting in. It's going to be holding everything. Most importantly, the filter itself. Oh, just imagine that right there. Boom.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
So now the next step is just to simply remove this mass airflow sensor from the stock airbox and transfer it over to the hardware, you know, that's provided in the kit. So I believe this is a T20. So just unscrew those. So now you want to take out this mass airflow sensor. Wow, this thing is pretty long. So pretty much right over here. Here, I'll just show it to you with it on the car. So this is going to be the side that goes into the inlet piping, and this is going to go to the filter, right? So you want to make sure the QR code is facing down, so it only goes in one way, just like that. Once again, QR code facing down when it goes like that, just like how it was in stock. So it's also important to note that you do not want to use the same screws that you had from factory. You actually want to use different screws that are provided in the kit. I'm pretty sure that the threads in here are also going to be different, from the OEM screws too. So just use the new screws provided in the kit.
This is a lot smaller compared to OEM, which is a lot bigger.
Yep, that's right. All right, so now you take this. We got this little rubber grommet right here, this little rubber part right here. You see how this hole is a little bit bigger than this one right here, as you can see. So you put the bigger side on there. You're gonna have two clamps, two different sizes clamps. So you put the bigger size clamp over here, and you put the smaller size clamp over here. Simply put this on. All right, so now that we got it on just like that, we want to maneuver the clamps in a way where it's actually easy to access them and screw them in. So now we're just going to take this and put it right there. You want to make sure that this bottom piece goes all the way down into there. Make sure it's nice and flush up against that wall right there, just to get a nice proper seal. All right, so now that we got this roughly installed, I tightened down the bottom clamp. I left the top one still a little loose just so I can kind of maneuver this. This tube right here is piping. So now we gotta figure out how this thing goes.
Bro, what are you doing?
What? Oh, yeah, it was just a little sharp on the edge right here, and I don't really want to cut myself, so I'm just kind of filing this down. Just a little bit. I don't know. Nothing
see.
crazy. Just a little bit.
See,
So now if you look into the kit, you're gonna find something like this. What you wanna do is you wanna put this inside of this bushing right here. Don't worry, it's not going to pop out. Just leave it like that. Now, you also wanna take this bottom one out. I can even take it out. There you go. So you wanna take this guy right here. For some reason mine's really wobbly. I'm gonna take this bad boy out. As you can see, you're just gonna roughly put it in there. That's the bottom, so that's where this bushing needs to screw into, right? So the reason we took that off is because it would just make it easier to install it. That's just the easiest way. So we're gonna go right here, put this through. We're gonna put our washer in there, and then tighten the nut through the other side. All right, so pretty much you got that bolt, you got the bushing, you got the washer right there, and then the nut on the other end. And we just want to go ahead and tighten that up. So now that we got that bushing secured, just gonna go ahead and just kind of pop it in there. So now that we got everything bolted down, as you can see right here, we put the washer with that screw right over there, just to hold everything securely in place. It's not really wobbling. You also try to make sure that this piece right here goes inside, this bracket goes inside right over here, as you can see. That will just kind of prevent it from, wobbling in the future. Now we can install this beautiful air intake. So as you can see, now we got the beautiful cold air intake installed. I mean, just take a moment to truly appreciate that. I mean, come on, we got this clamp right here all tightened up. Everything's all nice and done. All we got left to do is just take this sensor right here, this MAF sensor, plug it in correctly. There you go, you heard that little click. And there you go. I mean, technically, you can start the car right now. But with this cold air intake, we also got this little plating that goes on top. So this is like what makes it a true cold air intake. It's supposed to, this heat shield is essentially supposed to prevent any heat from the engine bay entering, the intake, because it's supposed to be a cold air intake. That's the point. Now time for the most stressful part. I'm gonna go ahead and start the car. Hopefully I don't get any codes, so wish me luck. That's good. Absolutely no codes, so that's good. Here's some revs, yeah?
Yeah. God damn.
Well, probably wondering how I got myself in this situation. Yeah, we completely forgot to install this part. So yeah, it is installed like this. It's really weird how it's installed. I thought it was going to be for the top cover. No, it's like this, so we have to take that off, and this is kind of how it goes. It's just supposed to help it seal a little bit better, just so that there's actual air, so air isn't escaping into the engine bay, and it's actually going straight into the engine. All right, so now that we got this rubber part installed right over here, just gonna go ahead and reinstall this air intake. So once again, just kind of shove it in there. I'm probably gonna have to finish this off camera. Hey guys, so it looks like we stumbled upon a new issue. Take a look right over here. This clamp, it's broken. Every time I try to tighten it, it tightens until it clicks, and now it's loose, and you just keep tightening it until it clicks again. So we're gonna go to O'Reilly's, and we're just gonna get another clamp. I mean, I don't know what else to do. So. All right, guys. So now we're at O'Reilly's. Gonna get these clamps. Go ahead and try to find something comparable, because this thing, as you can see, it keeps breaking. So. All right, so we went ahead and got that new clamp situated right over there, as you can see. Now, when we move this around, it's not going nowhere. So thank you, O'Reilly's, to that. Now we're pretty much done. All we got left to do is just put this top plate back on. I went ahead and put this little rubber grommets on the sides just so it makes it look a little nicer. And I also kind of cut this a little bit just to kind of make it flow a little nicer, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're just gonna tighten down these bolts and take it for a spin. All right, so After that is complete, now we just got to put everything back together. So we got to put this plastic trim piece back on as well as the strut bar. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and actually tighten down this bolt to torque specifications. So the torque spec on this hex bolt is going to be, what was it? It was like 28 Newton meters or 20.65 foot-pounds of torque. So we're actually just gonna go ahead and put this to about 20.5 right there on the foot-pounds, 20 and a half. All right, you hear that? There you go. Now it's time to do this bad boy right here. The torque spec on this one is going to be 56 Newton meters or 41.3 foot-pounds, something like that. So what did I just say? 41.3. All right, 40. Damn. Okay. I guess that concludes that my torque specs that I found online are accurate. So yeah, this one's 56 Newton meters, and then an additional 90 degree of rotation. All right, so now that we got this strut bar back in place, all torqued down to spec, now we're just gonna put the last piece of the Lego back, tighten that, put down, you know, all the clips in, tighten everything down, and should be good to go. All right, guys, now time for some sound clips. Alright, so Cyrus is gonna try it out. Cold air intake installed. Holy shit, I hope he doesn't crash.